Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. I'm here with our usual host, Ben. You right, Ben? How you doing?
How you doing, mate? All right?
All good, mate. All good. And then we've got special guest, Baz, making his second appearance on the podcast. How you doing, Baz?
Very well, thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. How are your weeks going so far? We'll come to the team soon, but all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not as good as yours, considering you've parked the bus.
Yeah,
don't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
But we start off with Baz because you are our guest. But how are you finding the new game so far?
Yeah, good. It's sort of last season was my first season of playing, so I can't really base it on I've not been somebody 10 years that got the old rules. Basically played last year and then they've changed it again, but sort of the new rules kind of me. It's I do like kind of longer term fixtures, but with the two transfers, quite a mix. Like it.
We've got a bit of a dodgy connection there, Baz, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going and see if it gets any better on that. We've got a couple people saying it's glitching in the chat, but we'll carry on. Speaking of chat, we've got Andy Barnett in there today. Scott McKee saying chances assemble. I think that's me in it. I'm the chancer here. And Flowerpot Man's in the chat as well. So hello, Flowerpot Man. Quick shout out as well. So we've obviously got live patrons, and a big shout out to Matt Gilbert, who's one of our new patrons, signing up as well. We'll get exclusive articles, Discord server, and you get early access to the podcast. So do consider that. There'll be a link in the description below. But we'll get kicked off with looking at our team, shall we? We'll start off with Ben, and then we'll come to you, Baz, after, just see if the internet connection sorts itself out a little bit. But we'll start off with you, Ben. How'd you get on this week?
75 points. I think that's okay, really. I would be dead happy with that. Like normally on Dream Team, I'd be like buzzing with 75. But with all these chips going off everywhere, it's a bit, I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking it reminds me a bit of like in Sky Fantasy Football, where people use more transfers at the start of the season and they get that like boost up the leaderboard, and then you've got to chase them afterwards. Because I know I've still got my chips in my pocket, so I can still use them. So you got to try not to think about the leaderboard. You just got to keep plodding along, getting as biggest points you can. So yeah, you just got to, everyone's in the same boat. They're going to use the chips at some point. You just got to hope that you land on the right week to use it.
Yeah, that's not a bad week at all, is it? Really, like it is what you said. It distorts the whole leaderboard, the whole table. Yeah. I'm playing Sky for the first time, and I've got no idea if I'm doing well or not doing well because everyone up the top's just got so many points. But I guess that is the case if people are using one or all three chips already, which I've seen some people do. But you got your triple Aston Villa then.
I know. Yeah, I sort of fell into this. Like Martinez was the cheapest European playing goalkeeper, so I wanted to get him in. And I already had Digne and Cash in my defence. Fixtures are all right for Villa as well, so I weren't too fussed about it.
You'll have all three of them for Luton, won't you, next week?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's a single game week for Aston Villa because they're out of the Cup next week. But it's Luton at home, and then the fixtures are really good after that for Villa. So I probably will sit on that. Surely they're going to come out with at least 7-8 points each from the Luton fixture. They could get bonus points and attacking returns. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So you've got the team up. So it's free for Martinez, who I brought in for Kaminsky. Cash 5, 2 for Digne, Dallo wonder goal against Sheffield United, 9 points. Simicus I brought in for Saka to free up some cash, and I wasn't too fussed even if Saka was back this week because I thought the fixtures were quite hard. But Saka's gone and proven that it doesn't matter what fixtures he's got, because in this game he's like a bonus point magnet, and he tackles, bonus points, chances created. That's without attacking returns, and he's getting attacking returns pretty much most games as well.
He barely done anything. He barely done anything in that Chelsea game. That's one of the most quiet games I've seen from Saka, and he still came out with a ton of points, didn't he?
I just didn't want to like sit on him, and then he missed the Chelsea game and might play Sevilla. So I thought I'll release him and keep Rashford for now because he's got good fixtures, and then I'll come back to Saka afterwards. Bruno Guimaraes got 4 points. Bruno Fernandes got 6. Ward-Prowse 5. Another game where he hasn't got an attacking return. He's just ticking along as well. Haaland captain 18 points. Mo Salah 14, and Rashford 2. Looking at the highlights of that Man U game, he could have had a couple of assists or goals in the game. So
yeah, there was a really close shot, weren't there? Right, far corner.
Bruno Fernandes had a couple of chances as well, so it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, they're just frustrating, aren't they? At the minute, United. I think we keep mentioning it on every pod. What do you think of Simicas?
I'm glad I got the 62 minutes on the clock for the clean sheet.
That was a close one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking I brought him in because he'll. I was hoping for clean sheets this week, so, and I think he'll play both games. And with Robertson injured, so I just thought it's a no-brainer, and he's cheap. It enables me a bit more money in the rest of my team as well. My defense is really cheap now, so all my money's in my attack. But I think Rashford's going to be my mate weight this week to get Saka back in.
Is that what are your plans? Have you got your plans set in stone, or are you going to wait? You'll obviously wait and see what happens.
Well, I was going to bring Martinelli in this week, but then I thought Simicas got better fixtures than Martinelli, so I went to Simicas. So next week, I'm thinking Martinelli and Saka back in for Bruno Guimaraes and Rashford. We got the exact money for that. Luckily, Martinelli didn't go up from his goal last week. He stayed the same price.
I didn't check that, actually. He stayed the same?
Yeah, he stayed the same price. So, I mean, like, we've been talking about the price changes, and it just doesn't seem to go up much or down much, does it really? So it's hard to chase price rises.
We'll go over to Baz, see if your connection's sorted out. It was typical. It was working fine before we started. So are you there, Baz?
Yeah. So scored 85 points. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Ish, yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Are you still there, Buzz? You'll have to come back on the.
Yeah, he's dipped out. I'll send him the link again quickly.
Yeah,
there he is. All right, Baz.
Yeah, I've had to go on my phone. It's just buffering too much. So,
that's right. I can hear you right now.
Okay, so unfortunately, my team was on my phone, but from memory, I scored 85 points. So quite a good week. I didn't use any chips. I didn't even make a transfer. I rolled my transfers this week, so I've got 3 to use next week. I was going to put in Simicas and Rashford for Alvarez and Cash, so I'm up on points and doing nothing. So I'm quite happy with that. So I got 0 for my keeper. I got 8 for Trent. I got 9 for Dalot. I got 8 for Konza, 5 for Cash, 6 for Fernandez and for Diaz, and Foden got me a 2. Captain Haaland 18, Alvarez 9, and Salah got, I think it was 14.
Full house. Yep. Great memory. I was looking over ready to help you in case you couldn't remember, but that is spot on.
Yeah, so quite really happy with that. Looking at next week, I am probably going to go all in on Arsenal, but not quite sure of what the players are going to look like. So Saka will definitely come in, but I'm thinking of parking the bus in game week 14, so I might start to edge the transfers towards that, because ideally I want triple Arsenal defence with Trent and Tsimikas.
Yeah.
Come game week 14, but that's still a wee while away, and I might just decide to go gung ho and try and get 3 Arsenal attackers, and if I maybe get an early team leak or something like that, and see if I find out that somebody like Trossard's playing or that is a great differential against Sheffield United. So,
I don't know if I expect it. I don't know if I expect Trossard to start or not. He keeps, like, every time he is coming on as a sub, he ends up doing well. But then when the games he's been starting, he hasn't really been scoring so much. It's a tough one, but he is a good option.
Do you think Havertz will start that game?
I don't think he will. I think we might start him for this Champions League game, and then I think he might be benched again for the Premier League. I think it's not really very good, is it? He's on the bench more often than not at the minute, so it's not been a great start. So you have got your eye on that game week 14, the one that's Arsenal Luton.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% doing it, but you never know how injuries could dictate that I have to do something different. Or I'm somebody that, like, I would prefer to keep my chips till later in the season, or my booster later in the season. I think the 12th man, and in particularly Max captain, I kind of see them as like more defensive chips that you would want to use if you're maybe in front in a mini league, or maybe as like something that you would need to do if you're like quite far behind and you want to make up some ground. I'd rather hold it on and to see, because I'm chipping away. I'm not doing great, but I'm like, that's me in the top 2,000 now. So just by doing the right things over the next few weeks, I'm hopeful that I could maybe just get there. And if you're in a good position come the end of the season and you've got three boosters still to play, then that's probably ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that sounds good, to be fair. I was a bit worried. I know that does look really good that week for Park the Bus, but are you worried at all about it only being 2 teams, or where you're probably going to get starters all across for 2 games? You're not so worried?
It's the fact that it's league games. I can't see there being much rotation. So and they're really good fixtures. I can't remember what they are, but I know that one team's got Luton and one team's got Sheffield United. So the fixtures are there. In the middle of the season as well, where, like, if they're on form, which the fixtures dictate that they should be by then, it could be settled sides. Everything points that it should be a good time to play it, but
it's Liverpool.
Without hindsight, there.
It's Liverpool, Luton, and Toulouse, Arsenal. Sorry, game week 14. No, Liverpool, Fulham, Sheffield United, Arsenal, Wolves, Luton. Yeah, they do look really good.
Yeah. And I think if they're ever going to be settled sides without any rotation, it's going to be the 2 league games, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. I'll come on to mine then, shall I? I've got 132 for the game week, 132 points, and up to 896 points in total.
What's the game week rank for that?
Oh, do you know what? I haven't checked the game week rank. It was about 40 odd on that Saturday, like game week rank. I haven't checked since, but my actual rank dropped after the Villa game, so I would have fallen a little bit further behind. But yeah, that took me from 2.5k to 166th. But like you said, it's skewed now, isn't it? Like it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a few red arrows in a row after that now, as people start to catch up and play theirs. But Johnston in goal got me a big fat 0. Dan Burn, well, 6. I'll read them out doubled. So Dan Burn 16, Dallo 18. I've done a little Gary Neville celebration when that Dallo goal went in.
What's that then?
It's the scoregasm. Got Matty Cash only got me the 10 points, but I'm a little bit worried about him not getting the start in this second game. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll get a bit more luck. And then Trippier, 24 points with that assist. And then Trent with 16 points. And again, it's going to be Cash and Trent who are the two that, if it carries on like it has been, but they probably don't both start. But I mean, it's been a fairly lucky week so far. So maybe we get one of them starting. Bruno Fernandes with 6. Anthony Gordon with 8. It was worth keeping hold of him, I think. Gordon. 2 points for Foden, 14 for Salah, and then Captain Haaland was 18. So, yeah, I think so far I'm happy with it. But I think we had a few questions in the Discord, didn't we? Where we were just chatting amongst ourselves whether or not we're worried about this second fixture. And it is those two, Cash and Trent, that I'm maybe worried about for this second fixture, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think Burn, Dallo, and Trippier should all get starts, do you think? In the second game?
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, happy for now, but we'll have to wait and see how the second one goes. Because if you do end up with clean sheet wipeouts, I probably won't be happy with it overall. Shall I read over Tony's? We forgot to mention Tony might be jumping in at some point potentially. What should you hold up much hope, Ben? Do you reckon he's joining?
Yeah, we'll see.
He's on the airport run at the minute. He's on unexpected airport run.
I was going to say what time's last orders.
Is it fake taxi?
No, he won't get any phone calls though. This time.
Oh
no. So Tony's team, let me just bring it up quickly. So Tony's got 88 points for the game week, 864 points in total. He's got Johnston in goal as well, so 0 points for him. Dallo with 9, Cash with 5, Trippier with 12. He's got Bruno Fernandes getting 6 points, James Ward-Prowse getting 5, Foden with 2, and then Anthony Gordon with 8. He's a new transfer in, isn't he, for Tony Gordon?
Yeah.
Salah with 14, Alvarez with 9, and then Haaland was his captain as well with 18. Did we all captain Haaland this week? That's all of us, isn't it?
I did, yeah.
I did, yeah. Did you, Buzz?
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
Salah
Buzz,
out on top for the minute.
Flower Pot Man says, get your kids off the internet tablets.
That's
why it's glitching.
Yeah, Peppa Pig. I hope they're watching Peppa Pig. They might be watching something I don't approve of, but
I'll shout out a few more that have joined since. We've got Plevna in the chat. Hello, we've got Mark Warner. Matthew Gilbert, we just shouted you out, Matthew. Welcome to the Patreon. Scott McKee's in here. Scott McKee's got a message for you there, Baz. Can probably understand Baz as much when buffering as we could normally anyway.
Scott McKee's got a game week rank of 20. He got 135, or I think it was 137 points, something like that. He's my tag team partner, holding me up.
Nice one. Carrying you.
Yeah.
We'll have to remember. We've got all the leagues this time as well. We've got all the leagues. We've planned ahead this time, so stick around for those leagues at the end. Right, should we go on to listener questions? Yeah, let's do it. So we've got Magoo. So Baz, this one's for you. What's more likely to happen? You being able to pronounce Perth or Scotland winning the Euros?
Well,
Did you do this last time?
what was it I was to pronounce?
Purple burglar alarm.
Purple burglar alarm.
Oh, he's nailed it.
Yeah, but
He's now.
Scotland are also going to win the Euros. So, it's actually I was looking at how the draw could go, and we're currently in pot 2, and because some of the bigger nations haven't been doing particularly well, a lot of the good ones are in pot 3. So it's actually within our best interest to lose the next 2 games and end up in pot 3, and we should get an easier draw. So, yeah, because a lot of the teams in pot 2 are like Scotland currently. They're not the best, eh? So, you know, easy one against England for pot 1. Diddy team for pot 2. Yeah, would do. I actually do. Like, all joking aside, I think we'll do quite well at the Euros. I could see us getting at the group, and you know, it's luck of the draw then. But aye.
Got a bit of left back trouble at the minute, don't you? Now
we'll be fit by that time. We've got about 40. We've got about 40 left backs though, but
team of left backs.
Yeah.
Scott McTominay's the man,
and he can play left back, can't he?
Who's that?
Hickey. He can play left back.
Yeah. Livramento is Scottish, so we could take Livramento into the to the Euros. He's got a Scottish gran or something like that. So
I think they should employ you to try and like look into people's ancestries.
I've done it. Like Harvey Barnes, he's eligible. Anthony Gordon's actually eligible. There's another quite good player as well. So some Scottish people get annoyed about like taking all these players that aren't really Scottish. I couldn't care less as long as we're winning games.
Yeah,
sounds good.
What happened to that Elliot? Is it Elliot Anderson? He was in the squad, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Not my favourite person right now. So yeah, he came to the squad. He lasted 2 days, and Southgate's obviously been in his ear saying you might have a future with England. So he's weighing up his options at the moment. So which basically means he's not going to be good enough for England, and he'll probably decide to play for us in 5 years or something like that. So.
We've got Nathan Wisby with question number 1 or question number 2. Sorry, Gameweek 10 punt. He's taking Alvarez out for either Isak or Watkins. Who would you go for out of the 2?
Me. Well, because Isak's got 2 games, it's just the logic I would look at it. I mean, he might not play both full matches. That's the only thing, because Wilson's there as well, isn't he? Isak came off the bench, didn't he, at the weekend? Wilson played. Isak was injured though during the international break, but I could see Isak starting midweek, and then Wilson being on the bench again. So, but Watkins, he's got Luton, so at home as well, and Villa at home look amazing, don't they? Scoring like 3 or 4 goals every time, so it's tricky.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
But then again, if you're holding them longer term, Isak's going to get more minutes. The week after, they've got the international games, not the international, the European games after that, and then Watkins probably will only play 45 to 30 minutes in the European game, but they've got Forest away, so, and then Newcastle have got can't see them now. Newcastle. Oh yeah, they've got Wolves and Man United, and so no, that's next week. I mean the week after that, they've got Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, so that's trickier. But I would imagine Isak will play more minutes, so I'd go Isak. I would. What
about you, Baz?
I would probably go Watkins this week, and I know he's only got the one fixture, but just as what Ben said, I can't see him starting both games for Newcastle. And Watkins, I mean, I watched that West Ham game there. Villa just looked absolutely brilliant at the moment. I genuinely don't think Man City right now would go and take 4 goals off West Ham, but Villa did, and you know they're just bang on it at the minute. For the two, I would go Watkins. Looking at Villa's group as well in Europe, all 4 teams are on 3 points. So, they can't afford to drop any more points really, or they could be actually in trouble getting out the group. So I think you might see Villa going stronger for the next couple of games, and just to make sure that they get out the group. I'm expecting quite a strong team against Alkmaar on Thursday. I think they might go full strength, and you were talking there about like Cash and Hunza. Will they play? I think they will. I think they'll play the strongest side. It's away, I think, as well at Alkmaar, isn't it?
Yeah,
home.
Tough game.
Is it home?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, this Thursday's away. I'm looking at the game week 11.
All right, so game week 11, but yeah, I have to say though, out of the two players, I would probably go something different. I think Martinelli at 4 million is probably a better pick than Isak or Watkins, just with the European games and the good fixtures that Arsenal have got coming up.
Yeah, I think I'm going Watkins just for the fact it's Luton at home. Luton seem to have sort of held their own okay at their own ground, haven't they? But I had a look, and Villa have scored in their home games. They've scored, I think they've won all 4, and they've scored 17 in 4 games.
Really?
At home. So I think I'd fancy Watkins for that one, even though it's just the one fixture. And then, like you said, I think Isak probably does get 2, but it's how many minutes he gets in each. They normally make them subs quite early, don't they?
The two games combined could easily just be 90 minutes. 65, 25.
60,
Isak's on penalties though.
True. Watkins ain't getting them off Douglas Luiz at the minute, is he?
I know. He's banging them in. He's scored like in 6 home league matches in a row. Douglas Luiz.
Mad.
But I still can't see that keep going. I can't see it.
What's he's on about 60 points, I think. I might be wrong in that. I think he's around about the 60 point mark. He's 3 million?
Yeah, he's got 16 points this week. He's the highest point scorer this week with Chris Wood. Chris Wood had a goal chalked off as well. He had a hat trick.
He's in 2% of teams, Louise. And the second part of Nathan's question was Solly March out. Obviously, did he pick up an injury, wasn't it? Solly March picked up an injury. He's asking for best replacements, 3.7 mil and under.
I reckon Anthony Gordon, 3.2 millions. Decent. He's served his suspension now, and he's playing an attacking Newcastle side. On the left-hand side, Barnsley's injured, so I think he's decent. The other one was, I pointed out in the voice note I did on the weekend, Declan Rice, 3.7 million. Obviously, we don't think he's going to score every week, but he's on 13 bonus points and he's got 23 tackles. He's involved with everything. He can get an assist. You can get your chances created, bonus points. But yeah, Anthony Gordon's my favourite out of them two.
Did you see that Rice goal?
Yeah, class, wasn't it?
He said he watched, when he was interviewed after, he said he'd been watching the Beck's documentary.
I bet as soon as he scored, it was like, oh, I'm having that. It's Beck's goal there.
Sorry, my Siri started talking in my ear then for a second. I'd put the same. I'd put Gordon. What have you got, Baz?
There's my little list there. Top 2 was Gordon and Rice. I also put Cole Palmer at 2.4.
Yeah, that's good.
They've got when do they play in the Wednesday? Is it next week that the cup game is?
Yeah, next week they got a double game week.
So Blackburn? They've got a double. So if it was for a 1 week punt, he's at 2.4. He's on penalties at Chelsea. That would maybe be a bit of differential.
That's his next question, isn't it? Best 1 week punt for game week 10 at any price.
Yeah, I did like that. I did like Palmer, actually. I looked at it because that double does look good. 2 home games, Brentford, Blackburn, but then it gets horrible after that. So it really would be short term.
Yeah.
Because it goes then it goes Tottenham, City, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United after that. So nasty fixtures after that. Should we skip ahead to his second question then?
Yeah. I think, because I know Nathan Wisby from the Discord, I think you really need to avoid going for these 1 week punts, mate, because you've got too many single game week players in your team already. Yeah, I think you're still trying to get rid of them, aren't you? If you're in the chat, comment, because he keeps going on about trying to get double game week players in, and if you're going to put like a Chelsea punt in, then you're going to have to try and get rid of them out next week. It's just if you end up with an injury somewhere else, you're just digging a hole. I think you're best avoiding it. But if you're adamant on the 1 week punt, I think Sterling's the best one.
I like the sound of Sterling. What about you, Baz?
I had Sterling, Tsimikas, Walker, Saliba, Konza, all under 3.7. Some of them are 1 week punts, but some are, as you say, you don't really want to be taking these 1 week punts. I would be trying to get some of the players that I've just mentioned there, like Saliba at 3.6. If you don't already have him, you're bringing the guy in that's going to sit there now until probably after Christmas. That's the sort of move you want to be looking at, I would say.
Yeah, I had down for, 1 week price, 1 week punt, any price. It's not really a 1 week punt because these two are good, but I did like the look of Ward-Prowse in that double. Everton, Arsenal, he could probably play both of them, couldn't he?
He's in my team at the minute. I love him. Just sits in there, ticking along, 5 points a week.
Or maybe Bowen as well. I think 2 home fixtures does look good. I don't know whether Bowen gets the Carabao Cup game, but West Ham playing Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, I think they'll go quite strong. I think.
What do you think Arsenal will do in that game?
Carabao Cup, I think we'll do similar to Brentford. I think we'll rotate quite heavily. Saka didn't even. I don't know if Saka was injured or not for the last one, but he didn't even make the squad for that Brentford game. We played a youngster out there. I do think we'll still rotate. He never seems to put out a really strong team in that Carabao Cup. Or Darwin Núñez is the other punt I said to go for, because you don't know whether he's going to start or not, but I think he'll get one start out of Forest and Bournemouth. And I think the game that he does get a start in, I think he could do quite well. And he probably normally plays 1.5 at least, doesn't he? But yeah, it really is punt. I wouldn't, like you said, Ben, I wouldn't really want to go for a 1 week punt, to be honest with you. But if you had to, that's the question.
I was looking at the doubles, and there is literally not one player. The player that I could come up with that I thought would have the best chance of playing both games is probably Anthony Gordon, just because they've not got so much competition on that left-hand side at Newcastle. But everybody else, even Man United, I kind of see like Bruno in that playing against Newcastle. Well, I'm not saying I can't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't in the squad.
They rotated heavily for the Palace one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Bruno might have had a chance to play both in that last game, but he didn't.
Plevna's just commented in the Plevna's just commented in the chat that it's 1-0 to Tottenham. Son goal. Is that right?
Richarlison assist. Just checked it, yeah. We trust you, Plevna. We trust you. And then question 3 from Nathan. Best captain pick for game week 10, Ben?
Well, I'm a bit worried about this one because, like you said, Saka might get rotated. I've got Saka, Salah. They're like my favourite two, but they might get not playing the cup. Salah didn't get in the squad in the last round against Leicester. So I've got Martinelli down at the minute. Possible captain for game week 10. I think he got more chance playing both games, but there you go. Trossard scored at the weekend, didn't he, as well? So
Yeah.
plays similar position, so it's a tricky one
think
next
Trossard
week.
starts in the cup. I do think Trossard will start the cup. What about you, Baz?
I think this week's European fixtures will dictate who might play next week. So, for example, if say Salah sits out against Toulouse, I think there's then maybe a good chance he might get the Bournemouth game, because he's not the sort of player that tends to sit out every single week. Salah's somebody that sits out by exception. So he'll maybe miss 1 in 6, 1 in 7. So if one of them weren't to play, like Saka didn't play against Seville, which I think he will. I think Saka's the most likely one to sit out Saka and Salah, to be honest. If Salah's not in that Toulouse side, which there's a pretty good chance he won't, I would fancy him to maybe get both next week. And on that, I would captain Salah.
Yeah, it's almost a full house. I think I've put down that. I think I might go Salah, or Saka was my backup. But like you said, Ben, with those two, you kind of favour them over Haaland, because Haaland's only got the one. But then if they only did have that one, would you go? If you knew now that they were only going to start the first one, would you go Haaland still? It's hard, isn't it?
Sheffield United at home for Arsenal, though. So
yeah,
that's the one that's probably skewing it for me.
Yeah,
I think Salah's got Forest, so it's tricky. I still think they're better options.
I think I might have to go for Saka that week, just because like I said to you before, got tickets for it, so it'll add an extra spin on the game while I'm watching.
Yeah.
Not the right reason to be playing it, obviously, but next up, we've got DT Philip. So question 1, when playing part of the bus, is it a must to play 5 at the back, or can you get away with 4? What do you reckon on that one, Ben?
I think you've got to maximise the chip and just play 5 at the back. You're getting double points for every defender you have, so yeah, 5 at the back. What about you, Buzz?
100%. I don't know why you would not play 5 at the back. You're getting double points on another player. That's pretty much essential, I would say.
Yeah, I guess it's just the only thing that you could consider is it's the opportunity cost if you do. For example, I mean, if you play it in a double Premier League one, like you were saying, Baz, and I think like you're planning to do, Ben, I guess it's not too bad because you know that they're guaranteed. But in my scenario now, I mean, I took Alvarez out. What did he get, 9?
Got 9, yeah.
Yeah.
And say, for example, I actually took him out for Trent. So Trent's on 16 now, but if Trent doesn't play or doesn't start to lose, and Alvarez goes on to score in that European game, I would have been better off having Alvarez, wouldn't I? But that's just my European. That's the downside of playing in the European week, I guess, isn't it? If you play in a Premier League one, it's not so much of a problem. But yeah,
it's a shame Liverpool's not in the Champions League, because then you'd be guaranteed 2 games out of Trent, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think 5 at the back's got to be the way, really. But I guess that is the argument, isn't it? Just if you're losing a striker in a big week, you think they might outscore one of your defenders. But yeah, I think go 5.
Yeah.
And he's got a second question, Philip. He's got he's looking to target game week 11 or game week 14. Which game week would you say is best to target, and which fixtures? Well, so that sort of feeds in whether or not to go 4 or 5, kind of, doesn't it? If you are going game week 11, that's a European. Is that the European double?
Yeah, game week 11 is European double.
Yeah.
So probably more of a shout to go with, if you were going to do it, go with 4 in that European maybe rather than 14. But what do you think's better out of those?
You go, Buzz?
Well, my loose plan at the moment is to go in game week 14, so I'm going to go with that. And it would be Trent, Simicast, and then triple Arsenal would be my ideal way of landing on week 14. Wolves, Luton, and for Arsenal, and Fulham, Sheffield United for Liverpool. The game week 11 one, it looks, unless you're going all in on City defenders, which I don't think many people have multiple City defenders. It's not the greatest double. Liverpool's is all right, but I would still prefer week 14.
What three Arsenal would you go for?
So 2 centre backs. So I'd probably get White as well. Actually, I would probably go Saliba, White, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Just because Zinchenko will probably get injured in like the warm up or something like that in the first game.
Yeah, he seems to have early. He seems to be victim of some early subs as well, Zinchenko at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shout. Gabriel loves a header as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
Yeah, looking at the fixtures, I think it's team dependent as well. Like what players you have in your team already. Because Game Week 11 probably suits my team better. With I'm looking at it there. Villa, Liverpool, Man City, and Man United have got the best fixtures in Game Week 11. So I've got Aston Villa and Liverpool defenders in my team. And I've got a Man U defender. But like Baz said, Game Week 14 is probably the best week to play it. Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle got good fixtures. I mean, Newcastle's isn't great, but they're at home against Man United. I mean, on form, Newcastle, I think they could beat Man United at home, and then they've got Everton away. They're the three. So, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle. I think they've got the best players at the moment in them teams, attacking wise. So, yeah, I like Game Week 14 as well.
I've just thought of something that. So I've got I rolled my transfers last week, so I've got 3. If I roll again, I could go on Game Week 11 and get 4 Man City defenders if I could trust who Pep was going to play, and
That's the problem.
That would be good, But even Diaz now isn't nailed, is he? He got hooked. He just couldn't pick for it.
Still came on though, didn't he, in the match? So
yeah.
Probably just coming back from international break a bit late. I don't know. Just resting him. Same with the keeper, innit? Edison didn't play.
Yeah.
Wonder if anyone had a Kanji in their part of the bus. Double points on the red card, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. And gonna miss next week's games, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pep seems to like Walker. Walker's like the golden child this season, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that on Stone's first game back, he's in at centre half, while Walker played, because we're all assuming that Stone's come back, he'll go to the right back and push into midfield and stuff like that. Maybe that isn't the plan, and he's going to continue with Walker, and Stones will then become more competition for the centre back slots.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go. That's why I didn't want to go for Walker this one, because I was a bit worried that Stones might come and do that inverting off the right, but he was sort of joining the midfield a little bit still, wasn't he? But from centre half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're still pushing forward into midfield, like you say, from centre half.
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty much repeating what you guys said, really. But I'd preferred that 11 just because I quite like the idea of spreading the risk of the players. I guess it's a bit like when we used to do blocks last season, but I think I'd be so terrified of just having Liverpool and Arsenal and then losing that clean sheet, I think. So, yeah, I'd quite like to spread it, I think. Should go on to, we've got Ryan next with his question. So, do you think the game requires more or less skill now with all the changes? Do you want to kick us off, Baz?
I think it's just a different game. I think you still need to, but the basic premise of how to play it's much about the same. You need to firstly try and pick the right players, obviously, but have an eye on the fixtures that's coming up. Make sure that you're like, I know we're talking about Nathan there in the 1 week punts, but you know, just try and avoid that sort of thing. Try and make sure that the players you're bringing in, 80-90% of them are for future plans and future moves. It's fine to have the odd punt that's maybe going to propel you up the league a bit, but you know, the 3 chips and stuff like that does it require more skill? I don't know if it does. I think it's actually probably brings more a luck element into the game. It's just, you can plan all you want and try and plan to play it in the right week. Like I'm saying, I'm looking at Gameweek 14, and most people would probably think Wolves Luton for Arsenal and Fulham Sheffield United for Liverpool will at least give you 1 clean sheet, maybe a couple of attacking returns but you know, on any given Sunday they could be Luton go away to Arsenal and win, you know.
We've seen so many things like this weekend as well. Like, was there three penalties just for handballs in the box?
Yeah,
like, it only takes something like that to give a pen away, doesn't it? And then wipe the clean sheet. And
it's like you say, like the Scott McTominay one springs to mind. Now it was a clean handball. His arm was out, but he knew nothing about it. You know, so just anything like that can just blow your part of the bus, can't it?
Yeah, it was Saliba pretty much the same.
How annoyed would you be though if you had like parked the bus and something like that McTominay handball cost you like a triple clean sheet wipeout or something like that? Eh?
Yeah, you do definitely have to have some luck with those chips, I think. What do you reckon, Ben? More skill than the new rules, or less?
I don't know really, because it's a new game. I'd probably say less skill, but it's getting used to the game as well because it's new. So, yeah, I'd say it's still less skill though to how it used to be. What do you think?
I lean a little bit towards it being more skill, but it's kind of it's different. It's a different skill, isn't it? Because I think the skill last year was your long-term planning, wasn't it? Really,
yeah.
And like you had to choose the right players, but you had to plan it all out quite well. But then, was it really skill whether or not you ran out of transfers and got injuries, that sort of thing? Like, quite a lot of the time you'd be cornered, run out of transfers just because you had a red card or an injury, something like that. I kind of feel like I understand the argument that with more transfers, you've got more opportunities to get yourself out of trouble. But I do think if you've got more opportunities to make good decisions as well, I think, over the course of the year, so
Definitely.
or season. So I think overall it probably is more skill, but yeah, it just is difference. I think the old game was more patience, planning, whereas this one, I think you've got to be bang on it every week, looking at players and planning for maybe 2 games ahead rather than 5 or 6.
One thing I'm starting to get my head around is like, and I suppose this comes into part of the skill element of it, because you get 2 transfers a week and you can only roll and bank 1. The sort of thought process is you have to use 2 every week, and that, you know, because you don't want to waste them.
Yeah.
But like, I think certainly the way I'm starting to look at it is a lot of the time I'm making transfers just because I've got the 2 and I don't want to lose one. Whereas,
yeah,
I think maybe now's the time to start looking at, well, are these transfers improving my team, or am I just doing it on the hope that they outscore the guys I'm taking out? That happened to me this week, and you know, if I'd made the transfers, I would have been down on points.
What do you guys think in the chat room? Put in the comments. What's next?
We've got David87. So he's saying, surely Gameweek 10 is one of the weeks to go against Haaland as a captain. There's no chance to double up on the fixtures. Best options, who might play both? We kind of did sort of go there, didn't we? Or what do you
Yeah.
reckon?
I just had another quick look, and I was thinking maybe Ward Prowse. He might should play both games, or Anthony Gordon, because I can't see who else is going to play on the left for Newcastle unless they play Isaac on the left, but Isak on the left. Sorry.
Did Man City destroy Man United last season at Old Trafford?
They played a few times, didn't they? They played in the cup as well.
Was there not like a 5-1 game or something? Did Haaland score a hat trick at Old Trafford? Am I making this up?
That was in the league, wasn't it?
I think it was the other way round. I think it was at City, that one. I think it was 6-3, was it? Something silly.
Because Man United won the League Cup, didn't they? They won the Carabao Cup.
Oh, Scott, our resident United fan. United 1-2-1, that one.
But did Haaland score a hat trick against Man United at any point last season though?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I remember it. Yeah.
I could look at
I think like you said, it was a 6-3 or something like that. I think Martial scored for United that game.
Yeah, it was. It was a 6-3. 6-3 at Man City that Haaland got a hat trick.
Man United are apparently playing well, aren't they?
No, really poor.
Maybe it's Haaland time. 4 for Haaland this week. Everybody's captain and different players. Haaland goes off.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Do you know what's annoying? I'm taking Bruno Fernandes out, but is it game week 10? There is a chance that he plays both, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one. That I like your Sterling shout. I think he might end up playing both.
I just think it's dodgy territory bringing a player in for one game week.
Yeah,
because then you might get an injury and then you're stuck with the player in the next week when you don't want him. Like I got stuck with Kaminsky for like 2 game weeks.
Did he do all right the weekend?
Yeah, he got 4 or 5 points at the weekend.
Are you're fully your whole team's European players now, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about yours, Baz? I'll just have a look.
Yeah,
you got Johnston.
Everyone but Johnston. But I've got my team knows it's 10 pretty good European players, but like almost all of them are rotation nightmares. It's like I've got Diaz for Liverpool, I've got Salah, I've got Trent, I've got like every European game I'm like checking the team. Are they going to be in or they're not? I don't know how I've got to that point. I started off having I had guys that I knew were going to play 90 minutes both games, and I've just my team sort of morphed into this rotation mess.
I think it is the Europa, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't think that Villa would mess around at all. I thought that they were going to go strong from the start, try and get through, and then maybe rotate in the last 2 games or something. But they have rotated a fair bit, haven't they?
I do think they'll go strong this against Alkmaar, though. I'm pretty confident that they will. If they lose that game, they're in bang in trouble.
Yes, tough group. Next up, we've got Patrick. So this is for you, Baz. Second outing out of 10. How nervous are you to be on the pod?
No half as nervous as he should be in the tag team league.
Fighting talk.
Below me and Cozy. I'll rephrase that. Below Cozy, with me tagging along a wee bit. Cozy's in 12th overall now.
Yeah, he's smashing it. Cozy.
Is he? Is he doing well?
Yeah, he's 12th overall.
I'm joking. He's let us all know.
He won't stop saying it in the Discord.
Well, I'm sure he'll be in the leaderboard that we'll read out soon. Right then, Flower Pot Man. I'm not moving this camera, but he says, can we move the camera under the table to see if Prof has a massive Roger on after the part of the bus? I was very excited on that Saturday, but the excitement's worn out now, so we'll leave the camera where it is. And then Connor, he's picking on my tag team partner here. So, do we think Connor will become more active in our Discord now he's used the Park the Bus chip just to get talked about? Think he's around top 100k now. Oh, he's not here to fight his corner, but look, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Con's at the wheel now. We're in the top 10 now of the tag team. We're back. We're back, baby. Oh, and then Connor's back. Connor's back, but it's not fighting talk. He said, "Would you rather? Oh, who'd you rather have? Sorry, Saka or Salah? If you could only have one next week, because this is a predicament he's in. So Saka or Salah, only one."
That's horrible.
Yeah,
That's a horrible question.
I think if I was in that position, I would genuinely I would do whatever it took to get both. And even if that meant removing Haaland for 1 week, I think I'd still do it. I would not want to go into next week not having either of those players. I would just... There must be a way. Any way must be...
You've not been talking to him privately. You've not been talking to him privately, have you?
No.
Because he put that to me earlier.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I mean, as tag team partners, you know, we're having a little bit of
Aye.
Little bit of sharing, and he said to me, Saka or Salah. He said, or I can get rid of Haaland and get them both in. I was saying, I mean, obviously do what you want, it's your team, but I was saying I wouldn't want to get rid of Haaland out. But it's funny you say that. He'll take that on board.
I was talking. It's an extreme way of doing it. There must be a better way, but like I would just, whatever it took to get the two players in.
What, has he got? Sorry, Buzz. Sorry.
I'm saying if that was the only way of doing it, there must be another way. But if that was the only way of doing it, I think I probably would do it just for the 1 week and do something else to get him back in again.
Well, that's in. He'll like that then. He'll like that because he has got a plan to. If he did do that, he has got a plan down the line to be able to get Haaland back. So that's not a problem. But yeah, interesting. What do you reckon, Ben?
12th-man chip, maybe.
What, the same week?
That week, Gameweek 10, maybe. If he wants to have he could have all three then. If he didn't want to sell Haaland, he could bring in Salah or Saka for. Whichever one he hasn't got, he can bring them in for that game week. But it's a big risk in it because
it could just be a single, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be a single. That's the thing.
Oh, that's a tough one. We've gave him something to think about there, though. That's funny you said that, though, Baz, because that is one of the options he didn't put in this question, but he has been contemplating.
I think I'd prefer to do that. What Baz said, take Haaland out for that 1 week, and then bring him back in for game week 11. Then use my chip on someone who might not play twice.
Decisions.
Yeah.
Right. Ben, are you ready to do some? Who are you?
Yes.
I'll have to see if I can find where we keep the music. Do you want the music or do you just want to go?
Whatever you like, mate.
Dramatic music. Hang on. Must be that. Yeah, that sounds right.
I was born on the 22nd of April 1969 in Leicester.
Oh. Nope, I haven't got a clue. You, Baz?
No.
If you're in the chat as well, chuck them in the chat. Next one, Ben.
He played in the Premier League. He played in the Premier League between 1992 and 2004 for 3 clubs. He played for Coventry, Man United, and Aston Villa.
Dion Dublin.
Oh, you got it already. Yeah.
That's a good
Too
good
easy.
One.
Well
Stairs
done,
up to the
Baz.
bedrooms.
Yeah.
You seen that? You seen that?
What the, oh, yeah.
Stairs up to the bedrooms. Dion Dublin. You got that quick. Well played.
That was good.
I've
That.
been enjoying the Plev's wee quizzes that he's been putting into the chat. He needs to keep them coming.
Yep. See
Plevna
them in the
guest
Discord.
Plevna guest Alan Smith. You know, the old Alan Smith who played for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He played for Leicester, didn't he? I think he's from Birmingham, somewhere like that, though. I've got another one if you want a quick one. I think this one you'll get straight away.
Yeah, why not? I can't find the dramatic music. We'll just go anyway.
Right. I was born on the 1st of April, 1983. Aged 40. Played in the Premier League between 2008 and 2010.
Just 2 years.
Just 2 years.
Nah, carry on.
I scored 10 goals in 35 Premier League appearances.
Not Henrik Larsson, was it?
No.
He came in for a little while.
Yeah.
No.
He was only in for like a 6-month loan, wasn't he?
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
2
it was at
seasons.
Man U, wasn't he?
How many he scored?
He scored 10 goals in 35 appearances.
No.
He was born in Mansoura, Egypt.
El Ghazi.
No.
No.
He played for Hull City and Wigan. Dream Team legend, this guy.
I've not got it. Anyone in the chat?
No one's guessing.
No.
In April 2009, in April 2009, he failed to return to Wigan Athletic from one of Egypt's World Cup qualifying matches. Oh, someone's commented. Mido, no. Close but no cigar.
Not me though.
Steve Bruce said he was the most unprofessional player he's ever worked with because he never turned up after international break.
I'm blank. From Egypt?
Yep. Someone's put McCarthy, Benny McCarthy. We had that one before, didn't we? We had that one a couple of weeks ago.
He weren't from Egypt though, was he? No.
He scored 30 international goals in 63 games.
Not no, Tarat didn't play for them, did he?
He's Moroccan, isn't he?
No, I can't. I'm not
I
there.
don't think I'm getting this at all. Even with more clues.
I think I'm going to have to. Someone's put Billy Whitehouse. Plevna's put Billy Whitehouse.
You said this was an easy one.
I thought it was an easy one.
Are we going to kick ourselves?
This guy was class, right? He scored like 10 goals in his first 7 games or something for Wigan.
Nah, I've not got it. No one in the chat's got it yet.
Shall I give you the answers, lads?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Amir Zaki.
I would never have got that. Never.
Do you remember him?
Never would have got it.
His nickname was the Bulldozer.
I don't think I even recall him.
Don't you remember him?
I can't recall much of that 2008, let alone
Flower Pot Man reckoned he was close.
Matthew Gilbert put Saki. He's put it in there. I don't know if it came in after I Told you the answers.
Oh, we'll give him the credit. We'll give him the credit.
Yeah, we'll let you have that one.
New Patreon. We'll let him have it.
He scored 5 goals in his first 6 games. And then he got up to 10 goals and then he didn't score again all season. And then I went on loan to Hull and only played 6 games.
Right. Next, well, we're middle of the week, haven't we? So we ain't got a winner, have we, for the competition?
No, it's midweek at the minute. I think we said it. Chris Wood and Douglas Luiz are the highest scorers at the moment, 16 points.
I don't think anyone guessed them.
No.
Going to guess Chris with them.
Salah's on 14. I don't know if anybody's guessed them. I'll have to go back and check. But,
yeah, we'll have a look. We've got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Well, on to the leagues. And we've got a good few leagues here, so we'll try and get through them quickly. So I'll start off with the Tonic Cash League. In 10th place, we've got L. Greaves. In 9th, H. Cartridge. In 8th, G. Walker. In 7th, we've got our very own Anthony Sutcliffe. Just realised he hasn't made it in time to join us. He hasn't made it. In 6th, S. Williams.
Where are you? Where are you?
In 5th, M. McKee. Hang on, this table's showing 3rd. I have to have a look on that on FF stuff here. But anyway, I think it's in 4th, we've got G. Payne. In 3rd, C. Tobin. In 2nd is me. And in 1st, B. McLaren. Do you want to do the Tonic tag leaderboard?
Yep. In 10th, Cal, Greg, and Lee Chapman. They've used Part the Bus. 9th place, Luke High and Charlie Lowe. I'm only joking. Charlie Luciano. In 8th place, Lee Thomas and Danny Grasby. They've used 4 chips so far. Paul McNulty and Andrew Ferguson, the hub duo, in 7th. 6th place, Connor Story and Scott Harris, the Bus Boys.
I thought he was going to say something else then.
In 5th place, Louis Wright and Matthew Kent. They both used 12th man. In 4th place, Simon Davis and Stephen Williams. Stephen Williams used all his chips and Simon Davis has used Part of the Bus. In 3rd place, Mark McKee and Patrick Bryson. They've used 12th man each. They were top last week, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They were top. Yeah,
they were. Yeah. Steady on, Baz. I'm going to read it in a minute. Hang on. 2nd place, Tony Sutcliffe and Andy Barnett. Barnett's used his bus this week. And top of the shop, Baz, the man here, and Ben Coles. Top of the shop.
Ben's like 100 points clear of me, so I have to give him credit where credit's due to the guy that's propping us up. But
yeah, he parked his bus this week, smashed it. He's up to 12th overall, isn't he?
Yeah.
You're the brains behind the operation, though, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, we chat like much like you do with your partner, and I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, we literally had 10 players identical, and we only had one different. And he was moving to trips, and I couldn't afford them. I was like 0.2 short, and he's got like 50 points off Trippier on me in the last like sort of 4 weeks, and then he packed the bus. So there's his 100 points, but all good.
Before we go on to the next one, we've had another goal update from Plevna. I'll quickly verify it, but it's saying 2-0 for Tottenham. James Maddison. Oh yeah, in agreement as well. Matt Gilbert, 2-0 Maddison.
Any assists?
Still loading for me. Live
next
score.
Leaderboard.
Slow. Right, next leaderboard. Go on, you go.
Dream Team Tonic Patreon members only cash league. 10th place, Buzz. 9th place, Mr. Tavares. In 8th place, D. Williams. In 7th place, Scott McKee. In 6th place, Jay Payton. In 8th place, Anthony Sutcliffe. In 4th place, Mark McKee. 3rd place, Connor Tobin. 2nd place, Andy Barnett. And Mr. Ben Cole's top of the shop.
Top of the table. Smashing it, isn't he? Then our divisions. So the Premier Division. Are we doing top 10?
Yep.
M. McKee in 10th. Baz in 9th. Well done, Baz. We've got G. Paul in 8th. J. Bevan in 7th. A. Ingram in 6th. Andy Barnett in 5th. You got O. Jones in 4th. You got me in 3rd. O. Higgins in 2nd. And then B. Coles in 1st in the Prem. But go on, Ben, you know about the championship.
Aaron Wade in 10th. Connor Tobin in 6th. Mr. Morrissey in 8th. 7th, Anthony Sutcliffe. 6th, Manels. 5th, Connor Story. 4th, Ryan Fitzsimmons. 3rd, Anthony Stringer. 2nd, Scott McKee. And top of the shop, G. Hill. League One. Shall I read that?
Yeah, go on, League One as well.
I'll read it for Fricker, James Fricker, Venezuelan. I see he's put himself there because he's joint 10th, really. So, James Fricker, Mr. Christmas in 10th. 9th place, Steve Broughton. 8th place, Lee Giles. In 7th place, P. Jones. In 6th place, Mr. Poor Man, Foster Crouch.
What's his team name?
Schofield rimmed me. In 5th place, G. Payne. In 4th place, J. Payton. In 3rd place, Aphobe. And 2nd place, Kian Ryan. And top of the shop, M. Warner.
Well done. That's it. We've done them all.
Yeah, that's it.
We've got a lot of league tables at the minute. Right. Well, that's just about it. Thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in live. Got a bit of a crowd here. So thanks for watching there. You can, if you want to be on the next one, watching live or getting early access to the podcasts, the link to the Patreon will be in the description below. You get access to the Discord community, exclusive articles and stuff like that as well. Get to join in with, next time round, you get to join in with our league tables as well. Premier League, Championship, League One. But yeah, that's just about it for this episode. Thanks for joining us, Baz. We got through it. We got through that connection in the end.
Yeah.
Had us shaking.
Appreciate
it. You got a Twitter handle that you want to plug or anything like that, or
no?
No
I'm
problem.
Not, I've just kind of fell into this. I'm not really like a Twitter guy or into like posting about fantasy football or anything like that. I just play and do my bit.
Good fun in the Discord. So as another reason to join the Discord, join the Patreon, get to speak to Baz. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Aye, not a problem.
And that's it. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers everyone for watching.
Cheers everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Cheers.